We're looking at what's next for the Pittsburgh Steelers following their disappointing loss to the Broncos. And Eric, the season started for Pittsburgh with a blowout loss to the Ravens and everyone talking about that they were too old. Then they play well throughout the season, they get to the playoffs, they lose to the Broncos, and they're too old again. Are they too old?
I think it's interesting you mentioned, kind of the bookends of the season, the first game and the last game. I can't think of two other games in the last probably 5-10 years where the Steelers secondary looked that bad. Are they that old? I mean, it was so important for them to get Ike Taylor re-signed, but he looked absolutely terrible in that game, like his head was in the clouds or something. So I don't know what's going on in the secondary. I do know they probably need an injection of youth at some point. But look to the lines, the trenches, really the offensive line, giving up that three-man sack there at the end of the game. That was a crucial play. All game long they gave up pressures. Defensive line suffered a couple injuries during the game, Casey Hampton, Brett Kiesel, and they just look plain old. So I do think there are a lot of new faces who will be coming in on both sides of the ball.
The identity for the Steelers when they've won the Super Bowls was a strong defense, pound the run. That's not the way this team plays now. Is that what they're going to go with moving forward? Is just kind of spread it out, wide open offense? Is that what the future holds for the Steelers?
I think it is. I think you look at the wide receivers they have, the talent at those positions. I know Mike Wallace didn't finish his season strong. I know Emmanuel Sanders is injured all year long, but I do think that's where the strength lies, the tight end, Heath Miller. You've got Ben in his prime, you're going to throw it. Now what they have to do is find those offensive linemen who can pass block consistently. They'll still run the ball to mix it up, but they are a pass-first operation right now.
I mean, you talked about helping out the lines is the first thing. On that defense, it was torched. Is it just simply getting some new faces in the secondary, or what can they do to fix whatever went wrong?
Yeah, they started doing it last year with Cameron Hayward and the year before with Ziggy Hood. They kind of reinforced the line a little bit. I still think they need more, though. Those linebackers can still play for another couple years, no question about it. But there's got to be one or two more players in that secondary. I also think Dick LeBeau, I mean, look, he called a terrible game against the Broncos. I'm not calling for his retirement. He's one of the greatest of all time. But he might need some help as far as coaching the secondary a little bit.
It certainly seemed like they got out-coached. They had all those guys up at the line, then ended up getting torched by the pass from Tim Tebow. Still, going into next season, Steelers probably going to be one of the favorites, so I wouldn't panic if you're in Pittsburgh. That's the latest what's going on. Check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about the NFL Draft, and Pro Football Weekly's new draft database has you covered. Check out updated player rankings for over 750 prospects and our exclusive PFW Stock Watch. Just go to the Draft tab at ProFootballWeekly.com.